Hey everybody, Jay here with PartsKindaGuru.com. Today I'm going to take you through a series of steps on how to restore your headlamps without having to spend a ton of money. There are several kits in the aftermarket that you can use as a compound that you can use with a drill and a few other attachments that go along with the kit. And we'll take you through a series of steps today and show you how you can do that. And that's going to start right after this. Okay guys, so what we're going to talk about today and the kit that we're going to use is a product by Mothers. It's called NuLens Headlight Renewal Kit. All right, they have a patented, it says Powerball 4 lights patented foam polishing tool that comes with it, and there's a few extra and additional attachments that you can use with a power drill. Okay, so it is recommended though on the power drill you're going to need to have a power drill, cordless or corded, which is fine, but basically a drill with a chuck on it, okay, because it has a shaft on it that you need to chuck up in the drill. It is going to require at least 1,500 to 2,000 RPM for this to work properly, so make sure you have that on hand. So let's go ahead and unbox this thing and we'll show you what's inside. So here we go, we're going to get into the contents of this thing. Make sure you always read the directions on the outside of the box first before breaking in. They let you know that it's important to run the drill clockwise. The surface must be clean and dry. It is advised to mask off the area around the surface being restored with painter's tape, which I have on hand, and I will be putting that on, and I'll tape it off and mask it off and go through those steps because I don't want to get stuff and crud everywhere myself. So we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, long story short, here's what you get inside. Several attachments. Okay, first and foremost, you're going to get the Mother's Power Plastic Headlight Lens Restore. It's a compound that clarifies, protects, and maintains, removes oxidation and surface scratches. This is going to be the mother lode of the Mothers. So we'll get to that in the next step. You got some discs in here, which are important. Here's the reason why this is important. And like I said before, reading your directions. It tells you in these directions, depending on the severity of this, depending on the severity of your lens, you may not want to use the sanding discs that come in here. They come in 3 different grits. You're going to have an 800, you're going to have a 1500, and you're going to have a 3000 grit, and that's going to go in a series to get those deep scratches and nicks and stuff completely out of there, and then you polish is the very final step of this thing. So anyway, here are these sanding discs that come in, like I said, and what's nice is all of these have a Velcro back. The main attachment that you use for your drill to chuck up is a wheel that has Velcro backing, and as you can see, these guys will go right on there and they stick to it, and there you have it. And that's the 3000, and it's really not even it's a 3000 grit. It's really super smooth. So it's almost like it's going to polish the headlight lens. Anyway, so there's that, and then you also have the final, this is the polishing pod is what I like to call it, but it's a ball basically. And if used properly, you can get a really nice restoration out of this. So you're going to need that. You're going to need a nice drill, and you're going to also need, before you start with this, you're going to want to clean it off. So have yourself a nice bottle of clean water on hand to do this, and then also using a microfiber type cloth to clean it off. So All right, so now we're going to get down to it. I'm going to mask this thing off for you, and I'm going to show you how simple that is. Just painter's masking tape is fine, and you just basically want to tape off the area that you don't want disturbed or get slush all over it. So anyway, we're going to get right back to it here in just a second. Okay, everybody, here we go. I'm going to do some masking off, and this is important because you don't want to scratch the surface of your vehicle. You could raise the hood. I'm not going to do that. I don't find it necessary because I am not too bad at masking stuff off. And the bottom line is it's pretty simple, guys. You just want to get a good adherence of the mask right there. And the whole object of this is to get as much of the clear surface of the lens as you possibly can, guys. And while keeping it off your paint finish. There's that. And if you get a painter's tape, it's really easy. You can get it into places like this, and you can really keep this compound off of there. So the main thing is to try to keep it off of your paint and other portions of the lens, like the rubber seal around it. So all right, I'm going to keep doing this, and when we come back I'll actually clean this thing, and then we'll start with the compound. Guys, like I told you, have that water bottle ready, and all I'm going to do is, this is clean water, and I'm going to spray this off real quick, and then I want to show you why I'm doing what I'm doing here. Okay, and this is clean water, guys. Make sure you use clean water. The surface needs to be clean, free of dirt. That way you can get yourself a good polish on this thing, and then let it thoroughly dry before you start getting in on it. Now, I wanted to show you why I am doing what I am doing. I don't know if you can make that out or not, but there is a filminess from age where it's just oxidized, and I'm hoping that I can get that out and restore this lens. Overall, the lens is pretty clear, and it does have some pock marks in it, but I think for a later date, that's when I will use the grit, the lower grit sandpapers, and go through those steps of processes and then restore it. So first, like I said, I'm going to try what they say, which is not a severe version of this, just to get this out of there, and we'll see what happens. So let's get started on this thing. I've got my drill and my Velcro chuck attachment, my wheel, and I'm going to fasten this thing. Let's get this thing straight, concentric, so it's concentric on there and not beating you to death when you're doing this thing. There you go. So there it is. All right, so according to what Mothers recommends, they recommend that you only use about a nickel-sized amount on this thing. I'm going to shake this up vigorously here, like it recommends. And then I'm going to put about a nickel size amount on here. Okay. Wish me luck, guys. Here we go through the process here. Okay, so I've gotten to this point, and I can tell you right now, there is a very smooth textural, you can notice the finish. I'm going to need to put a little bit more on here, because right here in this one particular spot, I've got ridges showing, and I believe that this compound is going to take it out. I can already see the improvement on here, so I do believe that this is actually going to do the job. So let's keep going on this thing, and when I'm done with this, I'll show you the final results. Okay, everybody, finished the job. It turned out pretty good as far as I'm concerned. I may need to go a little deeper the next time. I didn't have a whole lot of time today, but I'm satisfied with the work that got done. I had the residue up top here, and it turned out just fine for me as far as I'm concerned, but I do think that in the future I am going to have to do some other things to this or take it to the next level. Couple of tips on this thing: make sure you have the right RPM, make sure that this thing is free and clear of any chemicals of any other sort, like a Rain-X or a wax or anything, because that will cause clogging of those sanding discs, and you do not want that. It's trouble to get that stuff off once it gets on there. You can get it off of there, but it's going to take a little extra elbow grease. So I hope this video was helpful. If you like what you see, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can check us out at youtube.com/PartsCounterGurus. Check us out over on our website at PartsCounterGurus.com. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/PartsCounterGurus. You can check us out on Twitter. We are at The Counter Show over on Twitter. And if you want to follow our podcast, check us out on PartsCounterGuru.com, and you can click on the tab that says Podcast Links. Thanks for watching today, guys. We'll see you next time.